fierce debate over the future of England's national anthem has erupted following the Three Lions 3-1 victory over Scotland last night. This is the moment God Save the King was drowned out by passionate Scots at Hampden Park as teams lined up before the match. The anti-English sentiment sparked outrage among Three Lions supporters and even Scottish football legend Ali McCoist, who blamed SNP fans for the out-of-order disrespect. I think he's probably right. Meanwhile, the British bashing corporation's right on Nick Robinson, a news presenter, remember, waved the white flag and remarkably claimed England should stop singing our national anthem completely to prevent future booing. But what do you think? Do you agree with Nick Robinson that God Save the King should be axed? Dan at gbnews.com voted our poll at gbnews on Twitter. But kicking this off now, former Premier League boss and FA Cup winning manager Harry Redknapp, European Cup winner and legendary England goalkeeper Peter Shilton, and the actress and social commentator Jeni Barnett. So Peter Shilton, I can't believe that Nick Robinson's solution to some disrespectful booing SNP supporters is to get rid of God Save the King altogether.
Oh, it's ridiculous, Dan. I think politics anyway should be kept out of sport. And fans obviously want their team to win, but it was just extraordinary last night, the loudness of the booing. Whether it was political or whether the fans wanted to win so much that they were trying to put the England team off, I don't know. But it was certainly something that I don't want to see, and certainly politics in any sport, should be left out.
Harry Redknapp, how do you feel about this? Are you a fan of God Save the King?
I am, Dan, for sure. But listen, it's not just like we get booed every time there's a game now. Just a few years back, we were going to stop, every team we played against that came to Wembley, their national anthem was getting booed by our fans. It's just been going on for a long, long time now. It seems to be the norm that you boo the national anthem, disrespect the other team's national anthem. I find it amazing. But it seems to be what's happening now is more and more it's happening at every single England game that I watch. And, the first thing they do is boo the other team's national anthem. And last night was horrendous, really. I mean, that was really over the top. It really was. But I don't think it's going to go away. It just seems to be what happens now at football matches, unfortunately. I don't think we get it at the rugby, but we certainly get it at the football.
No, that's true, and it is sad. But Jeni, I can't believe this, but you agree with Nick Robinson? You think what happened last night is reason alone to get rid of God Save the King as our national anthem?
Well, no, I don't think it's that simple. I think it's a really complicated issue because is it the King they're having a go at? Is it England they're having a go at? Is it the government they're having a go at? What's happening is we've got such a polarisation in our country now. I mean, Scotland's part of the United Kingdom, so they should really be not booing but joining in. But I think Nick has a point. If it's going to cause disruption, if it's going to cause aggravation, then stop it. It's no big deal. What are you frightened of? Charlie will get sung at by all sorts of people. If you have to eliminate it from there, eliminate it.
It's no big deal. Peter Shilton, it's a massive deal.
Oh,
why?
It is. I mean, one of the proudest moments, a footballer has is if he's at Wembley and, playing for his country and they play the national anthem. A lot of the players sing to that. It's part and parcel of, respect for your country. I mean, I remember when just recently, we had the Queen's funeral, we had Charles's coronation, and the Scottish public turned out in thousands and thousands. It was an incredible response to the royal family. And yet you just seen when it comes to, as Harry said, it comes to a football match and people seem to have different values.
Well, Jeni, that's why I actually think this is a very small portion of the Scottish population. And let me tell you, Jeni, they're SNP supporters because Humza Useless was there last night and he was smirking at the booing of God Save the King. I think as the Scottish First Minister to do that, it is completely and utterly reprehensible, Jenny?
Well, I don't know that it's reprehensible. I think it's a sign. Harry said it, and I love you, Harry, I have to say. As a Tottenham supporter, I love you. That's by the by. But I think we're living in a time where people are frightened of saying anything. You've just had it on your debate. Yeah. People don't know what to say, how to think, who they are, what they are. And in a sports arena, and I agree with you, actually, that singing together, whether it's, I'm forever blowing bubbles or whatever it is, there's something very passionate about that. But if we are seeing a country booing another country and it becomes a dangerous act, then I think we have to think how we do it.
But Harry, isn't that giving? Yeah, but Harry, that's giving in, Harry, isn't it, to the lowest common denominator in society?
Yeah, it is. But as I say, Dan, it's not just last night. Last night was exceptionally bad, but it does seem to be happening at all England games. And we boo other teams' national anthems on a regular basis as well, for no reason at all. They're countries that really we've got nothing to, I don't know, but it just seems to get a crowd together. And the first thing, they want to show how much they support their country by booing the other team's national anthem. It's
Peter,
totally disrespectful,
Peter, we all have to be better on this, Peter? Do we have to say no for a very small portion of the game during the national anthems? We all make an effort to be silent.
I just think, if we let this affect us, I think, we're giving in, and this is the crux of it. Do we give in to the mob?
No, we don't.
I mean, I think there is a bit of what I call banter. Maybe the England fans do, sometimes boo the opposition, but it's not to the extent it was last night.
No.
I just think sometimes these days there's an organised groups behind things.
Yeah, it's organised activism. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
They target somebody who says something on the internet. They target that particular person, and it's going on so much more now. Do we give in, especially with sports events and the national anthem? Definitely not.
No, we cannot give in. We cannot give in. Peter Shilton, Harry Redknapp, Jeni Barnett, thank you all so much. But who do you agree with on this? Is the BBC presenter Nick Robinson right that England should drop God Save the King? Diane writes, why on earth should we drop the tradition of singing the anthem? Whether the Scots like it or not, King Charles is their king too. And that's why I said I think it was SNP supporters last night, genuinely. Jimmy, via the email, writes, England fans booed Flower of Scotland during the Euros at Wembley. As an English fan, I don't mind the Scots booing us. It's called rivalry, so stop being so woke about it. That's a good point. Though terrible to boo Flower of Scotland because it is the best national anthem in the world. You've got to admit that. And from Sean on Twitter, this is an anthem to pay tribute to our monarch. It just shows Nick Robinson is a Republican lefty that finds this silly stunt by the Scottish fans funny. How is that impartial? I couldn't agree more. Nick Robinson is the presenter of the Radio 4 Today programme and somehow thinks it's appropriate to put out a tweet suggesting that we get rid of our national anthem. The BBC will never learn about impartiality, will they?